Hello, my friend. My name is Terry Petrovic. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. Here we are at the end of 2013. Don't know where you are in your business, in your life. If you're like myself and many people, now's the time where we reevaluate. We do a review of 2013 as we look forward into 2014. Well, if you've been a listener on my radio show called Straight Talk, you know I tell it like it is. I'm a real guy. I love the home-based business profession. I've been in it now for almost 2 decades. Well, I want to kind of extend an invitation to you. And this is on behalf of myself and all of my team members. I want to invite you to consider joining us. And in order to do that is I want to take you behind the curtain. And what I'm about to share with you is an audio from Jeff Olson, the founder of Nerium International. He's also the founder of the Live Happy magazine. It's a phenomenal movement. He's also the best-selling author of the book called The Slight Edge. And the reason I wanted to share this information is because I know at one point in my career, I love the profession, but I just wasn't going where I wanted to, at the rate I wanted to go there for myself and my family. So my purpose in sharing this audio from Jeff today is I want to take you, again, behind the curtain. I want you to hear how he trains. I want you to hear his vision, and I want you to hear firsthand what our community is about. And then after you listen to Jeff, and after you think about what he has said, if it makes sense to you, I want you to call me or get back with the person who shared this information with you, and let's talk about creating a long-term business relationship. Because for me, myself, I've been in the profession almost 20 years. This is going to be my last run. This is the thing that I'm going to create a legacy of wealth for my family. And I know in order for me to do that, I've got to help a whole bunch of people just like yourself. So if you're, love the home-based business profession, if you love your company and the product, that's cool. This may not be for you, but Jeff's going to drop a bunch of gold nuggets that you absolutely can learn from and how you can position yourself for success as we move into 2014. If you're one of those people like I was at one point, you're just not happy, you're looking for something more in life or in your business, then listen very, very carefully. You can listen multiple times. Call myself or the person who gave you this, and let's talk about creating a partnership. Remember this, my friend. We're in this profession together. I absolutely love it. I hope you and your family have all the prosperity and all the joy and all the love and the laughter you could ever dream possible. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you absolutely deserve it. Until we meet again.
Hello, everybody. Jeff Olson here, and welcome to the holiday season. This is always a special time of the year for, I think, everybody to enjoy times with their friends and family and all the things that come with that. It's a great time also for the business, quite honestly. When you think about it, everybody during the holidays has skin, and everybody's pretty much interested in how they look. And there's a lot of people looking for a new direction in life, especially with January approaching us. There's a lot of people thinking about that. So use the holidays, and I'll talk about this later, to just leverage your relationships with your friends and family. Most certainly, our product's an amazing gift for the people. When you think about it, if you go to department stores right now, the busiest section of the department stores is going to be the beauty space. That's where the consumers are at, and here we are right in the middle of that space with something that is unique and different from anything else you can find there, something that actually, in my opinion, works better than anything else you can find there, and a product that I think has the best value. I believe this from the bottom of my heart. If you look at all these people in the department stores, and this is happening every single day right now, at least 100-plus people every day are buying our product that is way more expensive than our product, that does way less than our product. So when you have that kind of situation, what a great opportunity for you to, number one, just give somebody a gift, because quite honestly, when they get the gift of Nerium, what they're actually getting is a treat. What I mean by that is they're getting something that's going to work better than what they're using, and it's going to cost less. And so it's a great way to give something to people and introduce them to the product. And again, that kind of opens the door sometimes, because especially when you get into January, people are thinking about, a lot of times they're changing their diets, they're changing their direction of their life, they're thinking about, who am I, where do I want to go, what do I want to stand for, what do I want to be. And Nerium, with our story, most certainly is a great alternative for them. So, enjoy the holidays. That comes first, friends and family. And I always say family first, family second, family third, spend the time with them, enjoy them, but also this is a great time to network with people. And it's a great time to leverage your Nowcom system with our videos and the magazines and all the different tools we have. It's just a great time of year to do that. But reflecting back on your 2013, it really just continued our historical growth from 2012. It was amazing back in April when we got awarded the Bravo Award from the Direct Sales News, and we were recognized as the fastest company to ever go over $100 million of sales in their first year. Recognized the first company to ever get into the top 100 DSN in their first year. And that's just pretty amazing. It's really more amazing when you consider that we did it with one product in one country and just 1 year old. When you actually look at all the other companies that were in the rankings around us, most of them were 10 to 15 years old, operating in over 10 countries, and had a product line that developed over the last 10 years. And we're sitting there beating them 1 year old, one product, one country. You can only imagine what it looks like going forward. And in 2013, we introduced the concept of 2020. You know, we all know that the best vision is 2020. Well, we use that as a scenario for the year 2020. You know, really, that's just 7 short years from now, shortening quickly, okay? By 2020, you can only imagine what we're going to look like. These other companies, it took them 15 years to get there. At that point in time, we're going to just be over 8 years old. You can only imagine what's going to happen with us as our product line expands, like you've experienced this year with the day cream, and as we go into the body contouring, the products in 2014, and all the other products on the planning board, and as our footprint expands, you just can only imagine what opportunities lie ahead for us. The thing I think I'm most excited about is our model. It just keeps on proving itself. We really do have a model that I like to say all the time has been built intentionally. I think a lot of times companies launch and they don't even know how they had success. And I've always said if you don't know how you became successful, you don't know how to stay successful. You don't know how to go to level 1. You don't know how to build a company to level 2. And that's not the situation here or the case here. This is a company that was built with intentionality. It was built organically, which is always the most stable and best way to grow a company. And it's just been amazing what's happened for us. But our model continues to evolve and improve. And it just is built, you know, the main thing I would say to you is it's built long-term with intentionality for you to have a home for the rest of your life. And, you know, the thing that I've enjoyed the most is to see the leadership that we've attracted. Unlike any other leadership I've ever seen in the history of the direct sales companies, I'd have to say it's a step above, a class above, a caliber above of people. And I just think there's a lot of good people who are looking for a company like Nerium that just does it right, does it with integrity, does it with character, has a long-term perspective, you know, it doesn't just believe in just money, but believes in giving back and all the things that come with being a good person. And so it's just been neat to see the new people join the company, and I just truly believe that's really one of the most important things we do is like attracts alike, good attracts good, and that's what's happening here. I've always loved coming together at our events. In 2013, we started out with the spring bashes, and first one was in Dallas, and it was a great. As those of you who were there, you know. And then we went to Nashville, which is always fun to go to, and then we went out to Las Vegas, which was extraordinary, a huge event. July, we had our Get Real 2013, about 10,000 people in Dallas. That's amazing for a company. It's not even 2 years old at that time. I brought out our second product, the Day Cream product, which off the charts, the response to that product. It's just been amazing how many people have fallen in love with that product. And, you know, at the event we talked about Innate to our extract, how it's an antioxidant. And it's just a lot of neat things. But, you know, what I love the most is getting to know the people. We had this huge white party there, and that was extraordinary for those people who were at that event. It was just an amazing white party on Saturday night. And we had our Sunday Fun Day at the pool. And we have those at a lot of our bash events. And I just enjoy more than anything else is having the opportunity to hang out with people and get to know people, and that's why I really enjoy the Saturday night get-togethers and the Sunday fun days and that type of thing. But, you know, during 2013, we continue to give back. Success for Teens has been just a huge event for us, and I think it's so important as we affect the teenagers of the future, quite honestly. And then our YET program for people who are just past teenager and just going into adulthood, and what a great program for them. And the great success we've seen there has been amazing. But, you know, I think our shining star is really Big Brothers Big Sisters. To become one of the number one donors for Big Brothers Big Sisters, to win the Outstanding Community Award from Big Brothers Big Sisters, to touch so many children's lives, I think it just says a lot about who we are. You know, I've always said, is every child has a mentor. It just sometimes they don't have the right mentor, and what we're doing is we're helping fix that. And so I applaud all of you for that. And I would, you know, it'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Cabo. Taking 500 of our leaders to Cabo, that was just an amazing time in August of 2013, and really enjoyed it. And it's great hanging out with everybody. And then from there, we were in Baltimore, and Baltimore is historical. This is going to prove itself out to be one of the most, I think, significant and important things has ever been done in the direct sales, and that is our using of Live Happy to be a driving component of our business. And one thing we've understood with Sean Aker coming to our events is we've learned one thing as a group, is that happiness is something that's a precursor to success. And quite honestly, 95% of the people out there have it backwards. They think, when my finances are right, I'll be happy. My relationships are right, I'll be happy. When my health is right, I'll be happy. And that's just not how it works. How it works is when you become happy, your health does work, your finances do work, your relationships do work. And so what we've learned is to put happiness first. But the great thing about that, what we've also learned is it's very available. It's very simple to obtain. It's not hard to get to. And we've learned it through simple exercises that we can engage ourselves in just a few minutes a day, and literally in a matter of 30 days, how you can start changing your outlook and your perspective on life and have a happier life and start making other parts of your life work. Another thing we've realized is that happiness is not something big that happens to you. It's about a lot of little things that you do, that little things that are in control of. And so rolling that out at Baltimore, I think, is just a big part of who we are. You can only imagine as this evolves, because you think about it, every single brand partner and every preferred customer gets the Live Happy magazine every month. And just roll forward with that and think about, it's 6 months from now, and all these brand partners, all these preferred customers are enjoying the Live Happy magazine. What does that do for our business? It really builds our culture. It's something I think is going to have a very big sticky part to our business. It's going to build a relationship to our business. And it really is what is the right thing to do, is to build a culture of people who want to be happy, and being happy, you start to give more. And that was just a big thing in Live Happy. The apparel went over very well, and the website's gone over very well. Quite honestly, all that is pre-launch. 2014 is really going to be the year for Live Happy as far as the things we can do as we go towards the United Nations Summit on March 20th, which I see that as the launch date for everything. And you'll hear more about that and as we go on, but I'm just very excited about what we're doing here, because I just can't imagine the power of having a sales force, a group of brand partners that are powered by happiness, how big that can be, and have a customer base that supports that, is empowered and driven by happiness. I just think it's a very big part of us. And then in Long Beach, just an amazing, off-the-charts crowd in Long Beach, and so many great announcements. I'm just still hearing from people about our back office. The back office is really a state-of-the-art, leap-ahead back office. It's a truly game changer, a paradigm shift, in my opinion, from what other back offices out there. And quite honestly, it's like flying an airplane in the most advanced, sophisticated cockpit in the airplane industry. Would be the same thing here. You're flying your Nerium business is most advanced and sophisticated back office in the direct sales business. And so, I just touched on it briefly, the great things that happen here, but what it really comes down to, at the Long Beach event, we talked about 2 90-day runs. And those are the runs going into April, where we're going to have our Get Real event. Next year in 2014, we're going to have 2 Get Real events. We're not going to have the bashes. You'll be hearing about other things that we're going to be putting in between, but 2 major events. The first one is in St. Louis in April. And between now and then, you're involved in 2 90-day runs that we're asking everybody to involve themselves in, because this is one thing we found out, that people can think in terms of 90-day runs. And a great one is to use the holidays right now to put yourself in a position for year 2014. What you really want to do is plant as many seeds as you can right now. I think it's, like I said at the opening of this talk, it's a great time to be planting seeds, and what you want to be doing then is putting yourself in a position to cultivate those and harvest those as early as you can in the year 2014, so you can work with those people now to start building their organizations into the April conference in St. Louis. And see, what you always want to do is you want to recruit people early into the process, using the impending big event coming, and letting them know that the reason you're doing that is so that they can build an organization, and have an organization with them there in April in St. Louis, and that's really going to be the launch of their business. So you look at your business as you're setting up a lot of people in the launch position. And the sooner they get involved, the sooner and the more likely they can build a bigger organization. So they have a bigger group of people with them in St. Louis, and that really is like the launching pad of their business. And so, it's all in perspective how you put the opportunity in front of people, and the strategicness of how you put it in front of people. But right now, with everything we're going to be doing in St. Louis, this is a historical time for you. Now, I've always said that we sit in historical seats. That nobody's ever sat in the seats that you sat in before in Harris Direct Sales, because no other company has ever achieved what we have achieved. But quite honestly, nobody's sat in your seats, because we have a future, in my opinion, that's so much bigger than any other company out there has ever done in the last 20 years that's tried to do what we're accomplishing. And we have everything in place to do that. But again, this doesn't happen unless you have a team with you. And what you want to do is leverage the holidays, leverage January going into the year 2014, and use that as a time to plant seeds, cultivate early to get people involved in the process, so they can plant seeds and cultivate, so that they can harvest a team for themselves, not just be one individual in the organization, but be an individual in the organization who has multiple individuals that they have in their organization. That's the critical part. And so when you're sitting down with somebody, that's how you present it, that now is a key time to get in, because I will work with you to help you build an organization that you can have at that event, and that'll be really the launching pad for the future in this company. And so, really be thinking about the holidays and leveraging those, and thinking about planting the seeds and getting ready to cultivate going into 2014 and the St. Louis conference, and really a great time of the year also just to leverage what we have, the gift of happiness. I just think that's so neat to be able to give people. I can't imagine not giving that to everybody you know. It's just a simple thing. It's not very expensive, and what a gift. You're giving somebody, when you give them the gift of happiness, you're really giving them the gift of health, the gift of love, the gift of relationships, the gift of finances. And so, what better gifts could you give somebody? And on top of that, they're going to be reminded on a regular basis throughout the year 2014 of who you are, because you're the one that sent it to them or gave it to them. So, leverage that. I think it's a great thing. We also have our gift packages with Nerium, and also we have the Slide Edge that we put in a gift package also. Those are all great things. You got beauty, you got happiness, and you got an internal philosophy. I mean, those are three great things that you can give people. But with that said, I'll just kind of conclude on this note. The Slide Edge is the book went mainstream, and it's become a bestseller, and I can't thank you all enough for that, and applaud you for the support it's had. But the most important thing is I want you to really understand how the Slide Edge is really your best friend right now, because what I have found, and it's one of the things I talk about in the Slide Edge is what a big mistake people make is they live with one foot in the past, about saying, oh, this has only been this way, or this has changed, or this would happen, I'd be happy or successful now. They live with one foot in the future. When this happens in my life, I'll be happy. And they forget the only thing you have is the moment you're in. See, the future doesn't exist and the past doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is the moment you're in. But what you have to do is you have to have a future that is drawing you. So that's a goal. Those are dreams, okay? Those are aspirations. But they don't control you. They draw you forward. But you only can achieve your dreams and your goals in the moment. You got to get that. You only achieve it in the moment. And quite honestly, most of the things that you do in the moment are insignificant. They don't really look like they can get you to achieve what you want. And a great example is just I always use 10 pages of a good book a day. You read 10 pages of a good book today. Are you successful? Does it achieve your goals? No, it doesn't. If you don't read 10 pages of a good book today, do you fail? Do you not achieve your goals? No, nothing happens. There's really no difference. There's no difference between doing the right activity and not doing the right activity. It's so subtle you can't even notice it. And that is the challenge. That's the sucker bet in life, because what you'll find is successful people do the little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them. They just do them over and over and over and over and over and over and over with consistency and persistency long enough for the compounded effect to kick in. 2 exposures a day. You do your 2 exposures in a day. Are you successful in Nerium? No, you're not. If you don't do them, do you fail in Nerium? No, you don't. See, the difference between doing the right activity and not doing the activity is insignificant in the moment. But that compounded effect of that simple discipline versus the compounded effect of that simple error in judgment determines your future. So what you need to understand, you build your future in the moment. But what you do in the moment is actually insignificant. And that is the challenge in life with everybody. You've got to learn how to be motivated in the moment when although the decisions you're going to make are insignificant at that time, understanding the power of the compounded effect. Just can you, for these next 2 90-day runs, can you live in the moment? Can you make every day the most important thing in your life? Can you make the activities work for you? If you say you're going to do 2 exposures a day, do that. If you're going to read 10 pages of a good book a day, do that. If you're going to do 3 real results parties a week, do that. Live in the moment and be loyal to yourself. See, what you'll find out in this business is, quite honestly, about 90%, 80 to 90% of the work that you do is done by yourself. There's nobody around you. We get together at our events and we draw energy from each other and we get excited and we go to events, we get to know each other. But the truth is, most of the things you do to be successful in this business, you do by yourself. You do with nobody else watching you. So it's easy just to say, well, you know what, nobody's watching, and so nobody's going to tell on me. So nobody's going to know I didn't do it. And if I don't do it, it's not really, doesn't matter, because, I'm not going to fail. And you're right. And if I go do it, I'm not going to succeed. So why do it? And so it's so easy to talk yourself out of it because it's insignificant in the moment and you're by yourself in the moment. And so you just make a decision not to do it. That is when you find out who you are. Successful people learn how to live in the moment by themselves and still do the activity that's going to draw them to the future. That's what they do. It's not complicated. They're not better at the hows. They do the hows better. What I mean by that is they do them consistently, persistently, with a good attitude over a long enough period of time. If you can get that, if you can learn how to do that, because you understand 80% of the work is done before you start seeing the results. So that's why during the 80% of the time when you're not even seeing the results, that's why you have to have desire and faith. That's why Napoleon Hill said, after studying the 500 most successful people in the world, spent 20 years doing that for you, that the two biggest things they had was desire and faith. Because if you don't have desire or faith, it's hard to keep going when you're not getting the results. You have to have the desire to keep going when other people are not willing to keep going. You have to have the faith that what you're doing is going to get you there because you don't see the results immediately. There is no such thing as quantum leap. And that's really the biggest fallacy out there in business. People think they're going to get into something and get there immediately. The truth is, when somebody gets involved in this business, it takes them about 90 days just to figure out what they even got into, quite honestly. It takes about a year to figure it out, and it takes about 2 years to get good at it. And that's okay. That's how business should be. It shouldn't be you get in 90 days you have all this huge success, because you're setting somebody up for failure when you do that. That's why I wrote the book, The Slight Edge. It's the anti-quantum leap book. It's a simple philosophy that successful people do, the little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, and just do them over and over and over and over, consistency and persistency with a good attitude over a long enough period of time, driven by desire and faith, willing to pay the price, and they do it in integrity by themselves when nobody else is watching. Those are the 7 principles of the Slight Edge. And so interesting when you look at that comparison to live happy, because when you look at happiness, positive psychology, what they tell you is that it's a precursor to making things work. I'm telling you, the Slight Edge, it's the same thing. It's a precursor to make things work. They tell you that it's easy, it's very attainable. See, the Slight Edge is easy, it's very attainable. They tell you for positive psychology and happiness that it's not a big thing that happens to you, it's little things that you do. Same with the Slight Edge. It's not quantum leap, it's the little things that you do. That's why there's such a unique and powerful marriage between the philosophy of the Slight Edge and the philosophy of happiness. And when you embrace those two, you can really have everything you want in your life. It's at your doorstep. And here's what I do know, is everything you have to do to be happy and everything you have to do to be successful in Nerium, you can do. You can do it. It's easy to do. The other problem is it's easy not to do. And if you do it, you're not going to be successful in a moment. And if you don't do it, you're not going to be a failure in the moment. That's when you find out who you are. It's going to be the same thing for your happiness, which is the precursor to your finances, health, and relationship. It's going to be the same thing with Slight Edge, which is the precursor to your success within Nerium. When you get all these things, this is the magic. It really is the magic. And I think it's hard for some people to wrap their head around it because it's too easy. And that's why I coined the name Master the Mundane. Because what you do to be successful, what you do to be happy is not magical. It is mundane, simple, ordinary things that anybody can do. But the geniuses, the people who figure it out, are the ones who understand the power of the compounded effect. They understand the power of little things. They understand that the future is built in the moment. It's not built any other way. It's not quantum leap. It's not these huge explosive things that happen. It's little things you do in the moment. The only thing you have in life is the moment. Learn from your past. Learn from the past, good and bad. Look to the future to draw you towards the future, but live in the moment and know that the decisions you make in every moment matter. So with that, here's what I say to all of you is enjoy the holidays, really. You're a blessing to me. I hope we're a blessing to you. We've touched a lot of people's lives in so many different ways, with success for teens or big brothers, big sisters, or just all the stories we hear from people that Nerium has changed their lives dramatically. And our future is so much bigger than our past, and which is so neat. And 2014 is just going to be another watershed year for us. And this time next year, I'll be sitting looking back 3 years at the company, and it's going to be historical. It's going to be something that has never been achieved or done in the history of direct sales, and you get to be a part of that. But the only way you get to get your part of that is by your ability to live in the moment, your ability to make those little, mundane, simple decisions daily and consistently that compound over time. That's the way you get your piece of the pie, not through big, magical, quantum leap type things, but the little decisions you make, decisions that you are capable of doing and capable of achieving. So, I wish you the best. We can give you everything we can, but we're not there. Nobody else is there in the moment when you're by yourself, when all the big things happen for greatness. What I ask for you, if I could give you, one thing for 2014, is you're going to understand what I just talked to you about in the last 10 minutes. And if you could really grasp it, go back and listen to the talk I've done here right now in the last 10 minutes, over and over. If you get it, you can have what you want. It is the way, it is the pathway to not only have happiness in your life, but to have success in Nerium. And I think those are two great things to achieve for yourself. And so with that, have a great holidays. And if I don't see you the rest of 2013, I look forward to meeting up with you again in your 2014. Be blessed. Bye-bye.
I had to come back just one more time and ask you, so what'd you think of Jeff's message? It's amazing the vision this man has, the leadership this man has, and how he absolutely teaches people to go slow, to go fast, and yet we've become one of the fastest growing companies in the direct selling industry, bar none. And you know what? We're just getting started. We're only 27 months old. Next year is going to be our breakout year. That's the year where we're going to hit momentum. And you know what? We're going to do it right. We are the anti-quantum leap company. So if that's attractive to you, get back with me or get back with the person who gave you this information and let's talk. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you absolutely deserve it. Bye-bye for now.